Greetings, greetings, greetings. It is your favorite coach here, Sunshine. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Take your shoes off and leave them at the door, baby. Hey, listen, I have a question for you all. This is something that I have always found to be kind of a awkward question at times and when asked under the certain circumstances. The question is, when you are meeting someone for the first time, this is your first introduction, you've never met them before, maybe you know of them, have heard of them, but you've never actually met them before, period. Is it appropriate to ask that person where they work? Here's my take on this question. And I only have been, well, I have only witnessed it been asked to men. And so I don't know if this is a man thing. I don't know. I have mixed feelings about the question because, one, why aren't women asked the same thing? I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, why doesn't it go both ways? Two, why are we inquiring on someone's occupation at the first point of meeting them? Like, I can see if it was in a networking setting or something like that, a business event, but a social setting where I witnessed this, it was in a social setting. First time one person was meeting the other, it was a female, not a female that was trying to, you know, take interest in the male that she asked the question to. Just wondering why this question was asked, because I too was meeting this female for the first time at this point, and I was not asked a question. And what my understanding and me witnessing this, I could tell that the male was very uncomfortable with the question being asked, and you know, I just want to know why. Why we ask this. It's not the first time I've heard it. I've heard it. I've heard men ask men this. I have heard women ask men this. I have never heard women ask women this though. I have never heard um I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I just haven't witnessed it. I haven't heard men ask women this either. But if it's a setting to where it's a professional environment, a networking event, or we're all people of business, because me, I'm over here in the corner. Okay, when this happened today, I'm over here in the corner, not too far from the mill that this question was asked to, and I'm like, in the inside, I got my hand up in the air waving, hey, ask me, me, pick me, because you know what, I have a company that houses several businesses, and I would love to tell someone what I do, because I'm a walking billboard ready to network with anyone who is willing to, sit down and listen to the things that I have going on. So when the question was not asked to me, I was like, okay, I didn't get that. And I felt some way. This is weird because I felt some way about me not being asked the question, but then I felt a different way about the gentleman being asked the question. Only because I know the gentleman personally. I know the things that he's going through and have gone through, and I am a reader of energy, and I could tell that he was very uncomfortable being asked that question, and it was such an awkward moment. The other gentleman that was in the room, which was the spouse of the young lady, had to tell her to calm. He kind of hinted at her, kind of chill out. He didn't say that, but I could tell that's what he was getting at. And like, this may be something that she does all the time, and I'm not saying that she was wrong for doing it. I'm just saying I wasn't asked a question. Why are we asking him? Why are we just asking him what he does? And it's not like she was like, what do you do? So what do you do for a living? No, she bluntly asked, so where do you work? Like, when I have been with this, so people asking the question, that particular question is it's normally, so what do you do? You know? It's not, so where you work? Because I think it was the way it was delivered that which made me kind of, look at it like, dang, like, what kind of question is that to just ask someone the first time you're meeting them, like right now in this setting, because it wasn't a professional setting. But like I said, I felt that way towards the question being asked to him because I could feel his energy and I knew that he was uncomfortable with being asked a question and uncomfortable answering it, because it didn't stop there. When he told her, she was like, so what do you do? So you do this? So you do, it was just a prying. I felt like it was prying and it was intrusive. But if I had been asked a question, I wouldn't have felt like it was intrusive. And this could be like, it could sound like, well, that's a double standard. It's not, because like I said before, I know the gentleman personally, and I know his story, and I know what he's dealing with and what he has dealt with. So I personally am not in his feelings. I can't say I 100% know how he felt being asked that question and having to answer that question, but I can tell you from a person who can read energy and body language, and I can tell that he got a little anxious with being asked that question, and he kind of, it probably was a little annoyed with it because it didn't stop there. It was a couple of more questions asked after that I thought that, could have been a bit much. But I really, I'm like, over here, ask me, ask me the question. Let's talk. Give me an opportunity to spin my business, to tell you what I do. Maybe we can do some collabs if you're into some things. Maybe you can, utilize my services in some way, shape, or form. I really wanted to be asked a question. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna hold you. I wanted to be asked a question. And I almost wanted to say, hey, why you didn't ask me what I do? Like, you didn't know me from jump whenever I first came in, or when you first met me. So when you gonna ask me, why you didn't ask me that same question? And so I feel I feel like when people listen to this, that they're gonna say, so were you against the question being asked or for the question being asked? I'm neither against it or for it. I just feel like that it is a time and place and a setting to ask someone what they do. I don't believe that in a casual social setting like was today, that question, when you first see, and like literally that was, first off, it was calling him of the wrong name. And I mean, I don't know if he noticed it, but I'm very observant, and so she called him by the wrong name and then asked him this in what I felt like was an intrusive question to him. But again, I ask, why wasn't I asked the question? I mean, so I guess my ultimate thing is, I want to know, how do you feel about being asked, so what do you do or where do you work? First time someone meeting you, don't know anything else about you, have not asked you anything else. This is their first question. Once they get your name, this is their first question them asking you. So where do you work? Like, unless you're offering me a job or you are trying to do business with me, I really don't think that question is an appropriate question for a first time meeting someone like that in that setting. However, for us entrepreneurs, know and understand that we don't mind. Ask me, because I'm telling you, my insides were, I'm glad that I hope that my expressions and body language wasn't speaking loud for me, because I was like, on one hand, I'm like trying to I kind of entered the conversation myself to save the gentleman that was being intruded upon, that I feel like was being intruded upon. I kind of entered it to kind of, let me break this up. Let me counteract this, because I could tell he was very uncomfortable with it. But I really wanted to be asked, what do I do? I really wanted to be asked, or so what work? What do you do? Like I want to be asked that. I wanted to be afforded that opportunity, which would have been a great, because I was reading the young lady, and I know that she probably would utilize some of my services, and I'm sure it's not going to be the last time I interact with her because of who she is. But yeah, I just wanted to know, guys. I feel like at this point I'm rambling. It is 1:20 a.m. and I am pre-recording this live because this was just heavy on me, and I was wanting to know what you all think. I'm gonna slide on off of here. And till next time, you know it is your favorite Coach Sunshine.